Welcome back to this channel, everyone. Well, in today's episode, we are going to work on my garage door. In the past few months, I've been having problem with this garage door. Given that it's a high lift, there is a drawback on applying a high lift on a home garage. Basically, a lot of times I was told that the high lift is actually designed for commercial use, and that in home use it's a little bit tougher because yeah, there's just this little kinks about it that doesn't make it work well. Stay tuned and I'll walk you through what the issue is all about. Well guys, I'm in the garage now. I am going to show you guys what the actual issue is on my high lift, and a serviceman is coming over today to actually see if we can find a solution for this. You know, the problem really is that given that the high lift really doesn't have the chance to truly just pushes away right away in terms of the opening part of it, given that it goes up first, doesn't really move away from the actual frame itself, so it does drag up and then over. And in the process, during the day when it's really hot outside and the sun is really beating on this door. And by the way, it's a wooden door, but at the same time, there's metal framing on it underneath that basically, you know, it buckles because of the hot sun beating on it. And due to that, it really rubs against the frame or the weather stripping, and it's been really rubbing against my door, and it's been stressing it out, and it's causing a lot of scratches. So what I'm going to show you guys is that right now the door is I believe it's still not as sunny outside, and I'm going to show you guys the situation here. As you notice, I turn off the light and you'll barely see any light going through that door itself from the outside. There's just a little bit of that light right in the middle there. But just because it's right now, the sun has been beating on it throughout the day. And as the day progresses, it's even going to bend even more. And which is really causing that issue where I can no longer open the door as well. So in the process here, before the sun beats on it too much, I'm going to show you guys the issue. At this point, it opens up nicely. As the day goes by, as the sun gets even more intense, the situation, the door bends so much that it's harder for me to open the door. As you notice, it tucks in really nicely all up above there. So what I'm gonna do here, guys, to show you the difference as from the first time where I showed you it's total darkness, and I'm gonna open this up to cool down the garage door a little bit, and then I'll drop it down again after, say, you know, about maybe 15 minutes. I'll come back with you in 15 minutes and show you exactly what I meant. So stay tuned. Well folks, it's about 10 minutes now, and I think that's good enough to truly cool down that door. Now I'm gonna bring it back down here. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what I meant. So you'll notice here, one more time, I'm gonna turn off all the lights in here to show you guys again. Turn off my lights here. There you go, guys. As you notice there, when the door cools down, it literally just it retains its shape back in place, and then now, as you can see, there's a lot of that light showing. And you know, if we wait for another 5-10 minutes here, that's gonna close in again because the sun is beating on the door at this point. But that's the issue that I'm running into, guys. The biggest reason why there is that light shining from the outside is that I made a complaint about 6 months ago about this. So the repairman actually, what they have done is that they adjusted the the actual, I'll open the door again so I can show you. They adjusted the weather stripping so that way, you know, it doesn't rub against the door itself when it goes up, when the actual door is actually buckled up. What we've done is they adjusted that the door itself, the weather stripping, so that way it doesn't rub against it. But the problem is, since we've done that, the door even buckles more, and now it's rubbing against the frame of the door itself, against the wood. So it's not good because it's scratching my door altogether in the process. So anyways, guys, I'm waiting on the guys to show up. They are coming around, well, they say between 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So we'll see when these guys are gonna show up. Just quickly show you guys that there's a bit of gap there at this point, if you notice, between the weather stripping and the door. And if you wait another couple of minutes, I'll show you guys that there's not a gap there. After a while, it just, once the door starts beating on it, or sorry, once the sun starts beating on it, that gap closes altogether. It won't take long. I mean, it'll take about 5 minutes or so for it to close. So I'll show you that in a bit. So here it is, guys. After 5-10 minutes, the weather stripping and the door has sealed, and it's now closer to each other than before. In the middle here, it's still a little bit the gap there, but it's starting to close in there pretty much. Well, for the meantime, guys, I might as well give you guys an update on how is the status of this garage is at this point. It's been a while since I've really made any video, and there's some improvements. I won't say a lot, but just little things that I have done pretty much. If you notice a slight change on my workbench, I have done a little bit of retrofitting here because my old bench really was fairly short. So what I've done is I've extended the bench a little bit there, and I made it a little longer all the way out that way, and still kept my compressor down below. And it worked out pretty well because it does give a better proportion on my work area here. And I did what I did is I split those two cabinets out this way too, and I'm planning to truly put you know, something there, either a shelving or some sort, and you know, customizing some shelving there. And I might actually paint it sort of a red as well to kind of make it a bit more of a OEM look. So that's basically one of the updates that I have done. As you notice, I've also placed that metal or stainless steel service plate, and as well, and on this other side, I call this my service department, and this is my parts department basically here. It's slowly but surely evolving, and my little office space that I have there, and also I found a banner, Volkswagen banner, which I've always been wanting to put up at one point. And yeah, so that's basically what the updates are at this point. You know, and the other thing actually that I have done here recently, my buddy George, my good old plumber friend, came over and did this for me. And as I told you guys when I was doing the sink here, I have I'll be putting a hot and cold combination here in the process, and basically I have this in here so that way when I wash my car during the cold days, I can actually put on the hot water as well in the process. The additional things, I added a few more power supply tapped in from that plug over there. I added one over here for my vacuuming. I totally, you know, at times when you're building a house, you miss a lot of things, and you know, luckily enough, we can actually tap into those things. I added the fridge over here as well, and I think you guys have seen that in the past. But that's also an addition, is that I added a plug as well there, power source, in the process. And what else did I add? Oh yeah, I now have a security system in here and a full-blown network system. I have a Wi-Fi as well that's dedicated in the garage here, basically, so that way I can tap into the network in the house. And yeah, so yeah, that's the additional things. I'm still working on getting my heating system in place, possibly next year, because I don't know if I mentioned to you, I ran into a bit of a financial situation with the summer, given that there was a hailstorm and it hit me pretty bad, because 3 of my other rental properties was damaged by the hailstorm, and now it's costing me $2,500 each, deductible wise, to get that repaired with insurance. So anyways guys, that's pretty much it at this point. I'll come back with you guys once the repairman shows up to see what sort of a fix we can do with this high lift issue. And good enough that the high lift on the third bay is not much of a problem, because the thing with the third bay in comparison to the main bay here is that the third bay has a higher door. So as you notice, it does go up, and then it basically does go up a little bit, and then right away it moves up this way, basically, right? So it has a chance to move away from the wall right away. Whereas this one here, it drags up a little bit slightly, and then it goes up. There's a bit of a difference between the two doors there. That's why I'm not having an issue with the third bay, given that's a 9-foot door and this is an 8-foot door. If I have both of them the same height, I probably won't have that issue so much, given that the idea is that really the rails itself, how it pulls the door away from the frame, sooner the better. Well, one thing I forgot to mention, guys, is the future TV, flat screen TV that I'll be putting. Chester wanted to come in. Let me just let him in quickly here, because he's waiting and he wants to. Hey Chester, hey boy, wanna come join me here? So anyways guys, I have additional plug, as I'm mentioning about additional plugs. I was able to get my electrician to add this, additional power supply, and I'll be, something to look forward to. I'll be putting a big screen TV up top there, and so that way I could also watch YouTube videos here when I'm working at the same time. So yeah, that's just an additional change that I forgot to mention. Well folks, in terms of my flooring here, it's pretty sad. As you can see, it's all covered with all this basically tarp and cardboard boxes. This summer I'm hoping that I can actually do some work underneath here to basically, I'm not too sure yet on what I'm gonna do. I'm leaning towards epoxy, that sort of thing, and possibly do segment on that as well. So that's the work that I'm gonna be doing in the future, and stay tuned for a video on that as well. My ceiling, I still have to finish it up. As you can see guys, I am also, what's the right word? I'm embarrassed to actually show you my ceiling here. It's just like, it looks gross and looks pretty much just mudded and needed to be sanded. You know, I have fairly thick mud, given that it's my first time mudding. You know, it's fairly thick, and it's going to be a lot of sanding, that's for sure. You guys have seen the video that I've done to paint and sorry, to mud and paint the walls here. It turned out pretty well. I'm super stoked on the work that I've done here. You know, it's hard to see any of the flaws that I have. It's not perfect, but you know, for the first time doing it, it's not so bad. Actually, it turned out pretty good. The paint that I used here is actually a combo of you know, what you call it. It's the combination of it's just a pure white basically, but it has what's the right word I'm looking for? Anyways, it's just the base coat, and I'm going to be painting it a little bit better. I'm going towards the white. I like the full white here. I know there's some guys out there now in YouTube where they're painting their ceiling black, but I'm not big on that. I like everything white because to me, from experience, it does help from the lighting point of view, and the work that I do here, and also the taping and the filming. Those lights that I got from Alibaba or AliExpress, they are working really well. As you notice here, guys, I got plenty of lights. No fancy lighting here, but yeah, this pot lights that I have here are still in the yellow color, or what you call it. I need to switch them over to the daylight LED colors, and I also have the option to upgrade them to a 6-inch versus this 4-inch puck lights. So that's going to be another video that I'm going to be doing in the long run, and I might be able to even add more if I want to throughout here to give more lights. But anyways, both of my lights here on the side, one over here for the garage, are both you know, daylights, and they do make a big difference as well into the contribution to my lighting situation here. So it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the lighting that I have here. I don't think I truly need more than that in the process, but yeah, let me know, guys, if you think my lights is needing more or not. And truly, to me, if it works, why reinvent it? Anyways. Oh, and as well, underneath this storage space here, I'm not really sure at this point what I'm gonna do. Yeah, help me out, guys, and give me some suggestion what I can do here. Forgive my messiness. Sometimes I'm clean, sometimes I'm really, really messy. You know, I don't really have any problem having a really messy garage, but I like to make it look nice as well at the same time, from time to time. But hey, it's a garage where I do a lot of work, so it gets pretty messy. I want to show you guys what I have here. I got tons of stuff underneath this, and hey boy, come here. So I truly wanted to just figure out what I want to do with this storage space. There's quite a bit of good space there. I got like a few things in there, like my jack, my smaller jack. Oh, by the way, I just got this nice big 4-ton floor jack. My original one that I've been working on for the past many years, I actually have sold it to a fellow that owns a GTI here in Calgary, and grateful that he actually purchased it from me. I kept my other jack, which is a smaller jack here, just in case I need one. But overall, I'm pretty much good with this one. Really enjoy that. That's really nice to have. So, and yeah, back to this one. I get tons of stuff underneath here. As you notice, I got my cheapy pressure washer, you know, and all my vacuum and my cyclone there that I built just not too long ago. And as you notice here, so I don't know what else. I also have my ramp, which fits nicely underneath there, and my oil pan. So yeah, it's good space. I wanted to do something to really utilize the space. I'm thinking about possibly just enclosing it and see if I can actually just make it look a little nicer. Put a door right there where Chester is at this point, and yeah, maybe just clean it up a little bit and maybe, you know, enclose that and have access to that underneath there and making it a little cleaner. Of course, I got to work around this water source here. I'm sure I could build a wall around it and then, you know, enclose it that way. So yeah, little things. Yeah, I think you've seen this one as well. This is really nice. I love this. I actually got this idea from Rod Garage here in Calgary. He's another YouTuber that local to Calgary here. I saw that in his garage and I really liked it because given my sink is here, I pretty much just, you know, I like to wash my own, you know, all my by hand. That is, I'm an old school. I actually got a washer right there, which I'm gonna you know, retrofit and fix to actually wash some of my basically to wash all my rags here. So I like to do them by hand, and I basically you know, dry them over here because I don't do a lot of detailing. I'm not a detailing garage. I'm more of a hands-on DIY kind of guy. So I don't claim to be I don't claim to be a detailer, and I won't be, and this is not, the channel is not going to be dedicated for that. Mainly, you'll see me from time to time washing my stuff, my cars, but it's not like to the point where I'm going to be showing you how to detail your car. I'm not an expert on that part. Well, the service door just arrived here. I guess I'm going to chat with him shortly here, but as you notice, guys, about half an hour after, the door is pretty much just shut, closed, and there's no gap there with the weather stripping. So yeah, that's a big difference from how it is when it's cold. No, when it's beaten up by the sun, it gets really you know, it buckles so much in the process. How's it going, man? Oh, so the issue here is really when the sun beats on it, it buckles so much, it rubs against the weather stripping itself. Yeah. And you guys came out here actually not too long ago and adjusted that weather stripping so that way it doesn't rub too much. You see how that dark spot there, and it's rubbing against the door. Now it's not just rubbing against the door, so the stripping, it's rubbing against the actual frame now. So that's the biggest problem, especially when the sun is beating on it so bad.
Well, that's
so
because it's a dark color.
Yeah.
It expands with heat, contracts.
Yeah, that's what this possibly is too. The dark color definitely does that. So right now the sun is not so bad, but around noontime, that's when it's even more. And the problem now is that, you know, as you see, there's a lot of scratches, and it rubs against the wood. It did that too when it's rubbing against the stripping, but when I open it, sometimes I can't open it because it gets stuck. Yeah, so right now it's not so bad, but once the sun beats on it really bad, it bends even more.
Is this high lift in this?
It is a high lift, yeah. So I know the other gentleman that came over had a suggestion to you know, do the commercial way where you put that flap on the top to seal it. Oh no, I'm not saying that, but that's the option that I can have. Yeah. But the problem here is that even though I do that, it buckles anyways, and it rubs against the frame. It's not just rubbing against my. See how the rub over there? So it's rubbing against the frame already. So regardless, if I'm gonna go the commercial way, which I can, it costs money, but to put that flap up the top there, regardless, it's still gonna rub against my frame here.
No, you can adjust it off more.
Okay.
Then you gotta put that top rubber on it.
Okay.
And I don't have that with me because it just says door rubbing, adjust door, so the rubber is, you need a retainer like the bottom of this has.
Yeah.
A plastic piece.
Yeah.
You snap it in.
Yeah.
And then a rubber slides into it and leans against the wall like
On the
this.
top, yeah. Just seals it. So pretty much we're just adjusting the tracks away from the frame to see if that makes a difference. Now we have to adjust the trims because now they're definitely have space between the door to seal it up a little bit, but we'll see if that works going forward.
When I'm lonely in the dark, I know you are with me, yeah.
Well, folks, just to conclude this episode, the gentleman that came out basically adjusted those rails about an inch out, inch in the garage, and so hopefully he has adjusted pretty much the top and this bottom here. So hopefully that will help out a little bit, of course, in both sides. So hopefully that will help out. But the issue now is going to be for sure having that gap on the top a lot more, because we can't really put the weather stripping too much because it will also, you know, rub against the door again once the door bows out. So that's the issue. The other thing would be is to add that weather stripping. It's there's actual a track that you can put on the top, and then there's this the commercial grade rubber that sits on the top there that will help me in the long run for sealing the top portion, so that way I don't get that cold draft coming up from the top there. So that's going to be the case. I'm gonna talk to the builder and see if that they can cover that. If not, I'll probably do it myself and just pay for the parts. The parts possibly will cost me about $80 or so for the track and the rubber itself. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll go from there. Until next time, guys, again, thank you for watching, and I'll keep you posted on the status of the garage, and we'll go from there.